Hiroshima, August 6, 1945. 8:15 in the morning. A 29-year-old engineer walks toward a train station, ready to go home. Then he hears an airplane above him. He looks up, and in that moment, history changes forever. For 3 months, Tsutomu Yamaguchi had been working in Hiroshima as a marine engineer for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. The war was already collapsing around Japan. Cities burned nightly, food was scarce, and American bombers filled the skies. But on this particular morning, the city felt strangely calm. It was his last day in Hiroshima. In just a few hours, he would finally return home to Nagasaki, to his wife and infant son. But first, he realizes something. He forgot his Hanko stamp.
Where is it?
A tiny personal seal used for identification.
The seal.
So he turns around
Left it.
and walks back toward the shipyard at exactly 8:15 a.m. Yamaguchi hears the sound of a plane. He looks up and spots a lone American B-29 bomber crossing the sky. Then he notices something strange. 2 parachutes drifting downward beneath it. Seconds later, the sky explodes. The light was brighter than the sun. For one impossible instant, everything turned white. Yamaguchi dives into a ditch, covering his face just before the blast wave hits. The explosion lifts him into the air like a leaf in a tornado, before slamming him violently into the ground. 3 kilometers away, the atomic bomb detonates over Hiroshima, the first nuclear weapon ever used on human beings. Buildings collapse into fire. Human shadows are burned into concrete. Thousands wander silently through the smoke, their skin peeling from their bodies. Some hold their arms outward because the flesh touching their skin causes unbearable pain. Others simply stare ahead in silence, too shocked to scream. Then the rain begins. Thick, black, radioactive. The survivors don't know it yet, but the rain itself is poisoned. Most people would have given up, but Yamaguchi has only one thought: get home. Burned, deafened, and barely able to walk, he searches for a way back to Nagasaki. As he crosses a bridge out of the city, he looks down into the river below. Bodies float endlessly through the water. An entire city erased in seconds. Yet somehow, the trains are still running. Wrapped in bandages, unrecognizable even to himself, Yamaguchi boards a crowded evacuation train. Nobody on board fully understands what has happened, because nobody in history has ever seen anything like it before. On August 8th, Tsutomu Yamaguchi finally reaches Nagasaki. Against impossible odds, his wife and young son are still alive. Doctors wrap his burns in heavy bandages. He can barely move, barely sleep, barely stand. But the next morning, he goes to work anyway. August 9th, 1945. Yamaguchi sits inside a Mitsubishi office, desperately trying to explain what he witnessed in Hiroshima. A single bomb, destroying an entire city.
real bomb. Impossible.
But his supervisor refuses to
I
believe
was
him.
there. I saw it. It was unlike anything.
You're an engineer,
But what
the
you're
man tells
suggesting is
him.
impossible. Perhaps you need rest.
You should know that's impossible. Then suddenly, the room turns white. Another atomic bomb detonates over Nagasaki. Again, Yamaguchi is only 3 kilometers from the blast. Again, he survives. The second explosion tears through the city. Windows explode inward. Buildings collapse. Ash fills the air. Yamaguchi runs through the destruction, terrified for his family. And somehow, they survive again. But survival comes with a cost. Radiation sickness follows. High fevers, vomiting, hair loss. For years, many survivors live with guilt. Why did they survive when so many others vanished instantly? For decades, Tsutomu Yamaguchi rarely spoke publicly about what happened. But as nuclear weapons spread across the world, he begins telling his story. Not as a symbol of luck, but as a warning. He writes poetry about the rivers of corpses, the black rain, the silence after the blast, and the terror of seeing the sky explode twice. In 2009, Japan officially recognizes him as a survivor of both atomic bombings. The only man ever officially acknowledged that way. 1 year later, Tsutomu Yamaguchi dies at the age of 93. But the memory never disappears. In 3 days, one man witnessed the birth of the nuclear age twice. He survived 2 cities, 2 explosions, 2 apocalypses, and spent the rest of his life trying to make sure humanity never experiences a third.